How to interview for medical school. I've been interviewing medical students for 10 years and I'd like to share some of this knowledge and experience with you because I believe it will help you. First of all, realize that interviewing for medical school is one of the biggest days of your life, of your professional life. So be well prepared and take it seriously. Now, to get into medical school, you can either go straight from high school, and that usually depends upon a mark, and maybe also involves an interview. If you go to a graduate medical school, as is the case in the US and now more frequently in Australia and the UK, it'll be based on how well you do in your undergraduate degree, some sort of exam in logic, GAMSAT or something similar, but the interview plays a big role and this is your big chance. You may not have done too well before, but you can impress your personality and sincerity upon the interviewers and it may win the day. Now, these 3 A's. First, arrive on time. This is very important. So you're not too frazzled or sweaty or rushing. You may also find out from the other people coming up what sort of things they're looking for. Also, it gives you time to talk to the secretary who's organised the interviews and build up a rapport and relationship with him or her. Often they have the ear of the interviewers or the ear of the dean of the medical school and put in a good word for you, believe me. Next thing, the right appearance. Be dressed conservatively. Most of the interviewers, most doctors are pretty conservative. I know there's a few wild ones, but those guys are probably out surfing, not giving up their afternoon or evenings to do interviews. So, make sure your hair's well done, tidy. Maybe have a facial, look clean and tidy. Have a white shirt on, a neutral tie, a darkish suit. Same for women. Have a very conservative dress. Now, while I remember, don't have your old school tie. That's going to upset someone. Also, never mention your doctor, that your mother, father, uncle, aunt, grandparent is a doctor. They'll think you're getting special consideration and think you're entitled to this. Forget about that one. Now, the attitude is very important. That's a 3rd A, your attitude. You've got to be a bit nervous, serious, pleasant, not casual. Hey dude, passing by the front door of medical school, thought I'd like to be a doctor. Here they make good cash. Forget about that. You must have the right attitude, that you're sincere, wanting to be a doctor, and that you're a little nervous, but that's fine. That will be acceptable. Okay, now, those 3 A's. Generally, the questions they ask, you know what they are. Why do you want to be a doctor? Do you believe in the application of good science to healthcare? Are you able to work in a team? Have you got examples of that? Do you know how to make difficult decisions? How do you go about making a difficult decision? All these questions, you can look those up on the internet. There's plenty of sources for those. Now, you should start resourcing or preparing for medical school interview at least 1 to 2 years beforehand. You know, if you want to be a doctor, it means working with people, helping them. So go and work in some hospitals, find out the experience, go and do some voluntary work, find out working with people down on their luck. And then you can relate these experiences in the interview. Don't lie about your experiences because the interviewers are allowed to challenge you on that. Be sincere and also actually find out whether you really like the job or you think it's going to be a good career or profession for you. If there's something in science that intrigues you, research it. Don't just make it up or give a superficial impression or overview of it. Now, there's one thing I want to emphasize to you. At the end of the interview, they'll say to you, okay, now, John, we've asked you a lot of questions. Now it's your turn. Would you like to ask us something? So, don't ask anything. There's no question you can ask that's going to impress them. Psychologically, they've switched off their mind. They've processed you, ticked you off, finished with you. If you start delaying this now, you're going to irritate them. And think about it. What can you ask? Oh, what's the pay like? Or, which medical school did you go to? Oh, if I don't get in here, do you think I can go to the next state? Do you think it might be okay? Or, how do you think I went? Nothing. It all sounds ridiculous, only irritate. All you do is say, thank you very much for the interview. I really hope that I'm able to get into medical school because I'd love to be a doctor, and shake their hands and smile and leave. So, that's covered. Now, some of the things that are definitely out with the interview. Surgical mentality. Well, that's a bit like me. Focused, driven, hardworking. No, they don't like to hear that now. They think it's too narrow. So if that's the way you are, you've got to mellow out on that one, or ice out on that one, cool down a little bit. They don't like it. What's in? Community worker, someone's interested in working in a team, responsible type, balanced lifestyle. So that's the sort of thing you've got to project. Okay, I hope that helps you, and good luck with your medical school interview.